smell that? It smells like rotting fish, or at least in my nose it does, because I just spent an hour outside using emulsified fish fertilizer, which is essentially a byproduct of all, I guess, the fishing industry, where they take all the parts that they can't sell for fish, so all the bones, all the, I guess, tails and heads, whatever they're not using, the guts and everything, and they emulsify it and turn it into like this like brown gross liquid, but it's a phenomenal fertilizer. So I just fertilized every plant, like all the vegetables in my yard. It took about an hour, and now all I smell is dead fish. So an update on the song. I've been thinking about like what I worked on yesterday with my vocal coach, and I'm leaning towards really wanting to like really work on the song and like really practice it, really get it. Like, so like a lot of the things that we worked on yesterday become second nature. So for example, like we talked about like how I can, rather than just singing the song, start singing the song on just a vowel. So like the vowel ah or e, sing the melody on that. Then add it into like, you know, let me actually pull up my notes. So go from the one vowel, then switch it to the vowels of the word. So if the words go like, what would I say? It would be ah or ah. I guess it's another a, right? But like singing that like kind of thing, and then, which is difficult. And then like kind of slowly mush the words together, and then get, because all this will like really drive home a quality of voice that we're trying to achieve, which will then sell the song like as make it more believable and connectable, and going to the next level vocally. So first thing in the office today is we're working on that. Gonna do some vocal warm-ups and then just work on the song. All right, so these sound a little ridiculous, but like the words go, what would I say? And what I'm really trying to work on is head voice up here and not going down to chest voice. So for example, that it's do, ti, do, mi. So naturally, it's easier as become a lazy singer, go do, ti, do, mi. Do, ti, do, mi. And it's heavy. So let me do that again one more time. Do, ti, do, mi. Hear how heavy it is down my chest voice, as opposed to being a lot more intentional where it's do, ti, do, mi. It's still in my my head voice, not my chest. Do, ti, do, re, as opposed to do, ti, do, re. Feel the difference. So it's like now going like ah. One tip she recommended, something tactical, is like picture the DreamWorks. If you ever watch like a DreamWorks movie, the guy that goes fishing on the cloud, picture you're sending a fishing line down there to touch that low note and pull back just the hook, no fish on it. So da 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 da. That was a little heavy still. Da da da. C, lighter. Ah. As opposed to See, it lands, and it won't have it like I will be. The landing will emphasize notes or words I don't necessarily want to emphasize. Okay, just spent the past 45 minutes singing essentially 4 lines. Technically, I guess, it's 6 lines, but it's the same melody, same 3-line melody twice. Practice makes progress, and I'm noticing a difference. So I'm gonna record like a demo take just to see what it sounds like. You know, now that I've kind of got a little bit more of a feel of it. So I just tried eating a piece of cheese and crackers, and my hands still smell like fish. So I just washed my hands with 2 different types of soap, and then I cut a lime and washed my hands with the lime to try to get this fish scent off of my hands. I somehow got it on my hands. So tomorrow a painter's coming over the house, and we're painting the studio. It's gonna look very different. Black walls, black ceiling. It's going to be very, very different looking. I'm very excited to see the final product. So my uncle works for a company where he sells a ton of different products with this company. And for my birthday, he sent me a care package. And in the care package was many things, like essentially like green powder for like, you know, getting extra vegetables in. Another one was like a plant-based protein powder. One was something called, I think it was called Less Stress, More Yes, is what it was called. And in it had things like lemon balm and things that like are natural relaxants to help people that are stressed relax. And the last one was their energy pack that they call it, and it was like I guess it's essentially like a dietary supplement, like almost like a vitamin kind of pill, but you take it when you want to focus. And in it are things like valerian root. It's all like natural based. So valerian root, vitamin B12. Well, I was planning on going to go songwrite for about an hour, but my dad actually happened to show up to work on some things with the studio, and we were talking about the painting that we're going to be doing tomorrow, or that the painter's coming tomorrow. So that being said, I haven't gone songwriting yet, but I did take the vitamin things almost an hour ago, and I can't tell if it's the placebo effect or if it's legit, but I feel like I do feel a little bit more or a lot more focused. Now, two caveats that are interesting are, one, I think that there's some sort of natural caffeine in it. I don't remember what, like, there's something in it that is the natural caffeine. I don't know if it might be the valerian root. I'm not sure. It's something in there where it's like this natural form of caffeine. So the benefit is, like, you get that, I guess, focus and awareness and, like, clear thinking without the jitters or crash of caffeine. And it's interesting because I feel a lot more alert and I feel a little bit more awake, which is funny because I had the second caveat is that I had a terrible night's sleep last night. And I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good right now. And I'm just curious if it's like placebo. I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't know if I love the idea of things like this, you know, that help you focus, and when you want to focus you take them, or, you know. But then again, like, is it any different than coffee if you have coffee to wake up? That isn't interesting. It's, again, going back to that conversation I've had before about the categories that we have in our brain. We just make these rules in our head that's like, oh, I can't take this vitamin pill if I want to, every time I want to focus. Well, even me sometimes, where I try actually not to as much anymore, but even me sometimes drink coffee to wake up. So, like, how is that any different? You know, like, I actually do it. I do it more at night. If I'm going to like a late gig, I'll have coffee to wake me up. During the day, I actually just drink coffee just for the flavor, which is actually why I switched to decaf coffee, because I don't want the jitters of coffee. It's just interesting. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud, but that is an interesting caveat of how we just put these rules in our head that make no sense sometimes. So I had a funny moment last night where today is my wife's, Jamie's, last day of work, like before she goes into something called nesting, which New York State provides 2 weeks before babies do. You can essentially what's called nest and like stay home and get ready for the baby. That being said, because she's probably going to deliver early, we're choosing the nesting around 36 weeks. And if she hadn't delivered by 38, she'll take a week of PTO. But like the latest that we're going to let her go is 39 weeks. So regardless, it's either going to be the latest a baby can come is May 2nd. So likely an April baby. But point being though is I had this realization when she's like, yeah, it's my last shift. I was like, oh my goodness, like that means like the next time she goes to work, we're gonna have a 6-month-old baby, like just, or 5 months or whatever, like, but just the idea of like, it just became real. I was really excited, and I am really excited, but I got this like wave of like nerves, like, oh, this is really happening. Like, she's not working again until we have this baby. And I was like, that's crazy.